It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it is showtime. What's happening, everybody? The Geno Jones Show. Bam! You see the sign to come to you live. Yes, I do. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Those are my normal start days and times, unless otherwise advertised, right? So, please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. I am less than 80 new subscribers away from becoming what they call a YouTube partner. Content partner. That means I am less than 80 subscribers away from getting a YouTube check. So y'all help a brother out. Help out my media company, Geno Media, and the Geno Jones Show. I appreciate your support. I'm already averaging, around 4,000 total minutes viewed a month, which is incredible. And I'm humbled and I'm honored by that, and I want to thank you. So it has allowed my channel to grow, and I've been contacted by YouTube. They send you these little emails and say, hey, listen, you know what, you could become a YouTube partner, and here's how. So they have thresholds, basically 2 criteria they want you to have. You average like 4,000 minutes in viewers over a couple month period, and they have a number in terms of new subscribers, and I'm less than 80 away from that number. It's probably like 78, 77 new subscribers away from becoming a YouTube partner. So spread the word. Tell everybody you know, that you love, that you like. Folks you ain't really crazy about them. Tell them anyway. Folks you really don't like, folks you hate, strangers, aliens that come down from outer space and pitch camp and land in your backyard and play with your kids and your dogs. There was a movie about that, right? E.T.? All right, Google it. If you are like under 45, 40, maybe, yeah, definitely under 40, Google E.T., movie E.T. I digress. So we're one day from the weekend. So 2024 is a big election year, but you have some big elections in 2023. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a new mayor of the city of Charleston and the city of North Charleston, and a man that's going to be running to be the mayor, and if he wins, he'll be the first African-American person, male or female, to become mayor of North Charleston, South Carolina, where I am right now, and that's going to be former Police Chief Reggie Burgess. Full disclosure, friend of the show. And hopefully pretty soon we'll have a young man who is also running to be mayor in the city of Charleston. And if he wins, he would be the first black mayor that the city of Charleston had. And that is Brother Clay Middleton. Full disclosure, also a friend of the show. So former Police Chief Reggie Burgess, a mayoral candidate, will be my guest tomorrow around this time. So just want to give you a heads up. So if you live in the city of North Charleston and you got some questions, my chat room is always open. So you can post a question and I'll read your question on the air possibly. And I'll read the question to Mr. Burgess, former Police Chief Reggie Burgess, and see what he has to say. How about that? Hey, happy birthday today, July 20th. Happy birthday. A brother turned 50, but I remember a movie. He was like a teenager. We were all a little young back then. Well, some of us, a lot of us, me. But I remember this movie because he was in it with Tupac, and Pac was killing it. But my man did a great job in this movie. Then he went on. He was in Love and Basketball. He was in Higher Learning. If you are a fan of the TV show ER, he played the character Dr. Grant. I'm talking about my man Omar Epps, the Big Nickel. 50 today. Omar, you getting old, bruh. I remember you back in the day in that movie Juice. And that is a classic movie. That's when I still, if it comes on, I'm going to watch it. And I think a lot of us grew up kind of came of age like they did when that movie came out. So happy birthday to Omar Epps, former NBA champion, two-time NBA champion, basketball Hall of Famer, from about 2.5, close to 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours north of where I'm at right now. The Greenville, South Carolina area is where he was raised. I think he was actually born in California, but he's from South Carolina. One of the greatest shooters, arguably, before Steph Curry came on the scene. Many said he could have been considered the greatest shooter of all time, and hit one of the greatest clutch shots in NBA Finals history. I'm talking about Mr. Ray Allen. Happy birthday, Ray Allen is 48 today. And for all my old school hip hop fans, this year's 50th anniversary of hip hop. So if you've been down with hip hop for 50 years or close to it, you remember Cool G Rap, repping New York City, member of the Juice Crew from way back in the day. Cool G Rap, 54 today. Happy birthday to Cool G Rap, Ray Allen, Omar Epps, and everybody celebrating a birthday today. Well. Racism is alive and well in America. How do I know? How will I know? Whitney Houston had that song, Rest in Peace, Power in Paradise. How will I know? How will you know racism is alive and well when Florida schools say that they are going to teach that slavery brought personal benefits to the enslaved ancestors because they developed skills. Really? Oh, picking cotton, picking tobacco, picking rice for free now, because remember, our enslaved ancestors, legally, according to the original Constitution, they weren't considered human. They were like, and it was just the men, the women didn't even get a mention. So the black men were considered, blacks were considered 3/5 human. Y'all not really human. Y'all are almost like, I don't know, like an animal. 3/5 human. Family separation, lynching, rape, murder, being literally property, like a car or a home or a piece of furniture. But somehow slavery brought personal benefits to our enslaved ancestors. That's what they're going to teach in Florida schools. So all the black folks in Florida, and really the white folks that don't want to be misled, hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, y'all need to move out of Florida. But I know it's a beautiful state, like physically, but it's like all the races, or the majority of them, all these, a lot of the folks that stormed the Capitol and these white nationalist groups, right-wing racist militias, your Proud Boys, your 3%ers, your Oath Keepers, they all moved to Florida, down around where Orange Hitler is, even down in like Dade County in Miami. So that's your governor, little Trump mini-me, wannabe Trump me, Ron DeSantis, the head of racist in chief of the state of Florida. That's why elections matter, because he just got reelected. But the first time he got elected, he barely beat a brother named Andrew Gillum. Florida would be a lot different if you had Governor Gillum as opposed to Governor Death Wish, as I call him, Governor DeSantis, or DeSantis, depending on what day of the week he pronounces it differently. Oh, by the way, Florida is a state. Google the town of Rosewood. Yes, we had a race massacre. Hundreds of black people killed over a lie. Just like Emmett Till, so many stories. Oh, a young black man, he whistled at a white woman, or he tried to hit on her. So the townsmen, You're not going to defile our virtuous white queens. So we're going to come and knock on everybody's door. We're going to drag them out, and we're going to teach them a lesson, which usually meant lynching and worse. Just Google the picture of Emmett Till that his mom had taken of his open casket by Jet Magazine way back in the 50s in Chicago. That happened in Florida. So see, that mentality, maybe not that extreme, but it's all connected. That racist mentality is alive and well in the state of Florida. And apparently it is alive and well for a country music artist, this dude named Jason Aldean, MAGA cult member. Now, he's saying, well, it wasn't racist, and, folks are defending him and saying, oh, you all are crazy. No, black folks ain't crazy. We know racism when we see it, when we smell it, when we taste it, when we feel it. We know racism. We know what it looks like. You can't bullshit us. You can bullshit yourself and lie to yourself. You can't lie to us. So anyway, this dude, Mr. Jason Aldean, he did this song and a video. The song actually came out in May, but it's been getting a lot of attention. It's talking about life in a small town. And, you can't try that in a small town. You can't come and carjack, and you can't, he's talking about disrespecting cops or hitting a cop or yelling at a cop or something like that. You can't come to our small town with that. Because if you do, I'm paraphrasing, if you do, we'll handle it because we take care of ours in the small town. Yeah, you take care of yours if you're white. But in a lot of small towns, you know how they took care of people? Black folks told them, if you're not out of town by sundown, you're going to be shot, lynched, or both, or worse. Come up missing. And in the video, so he's got this image of a BLM, as they call it, a Black Lives Matter protest. And the video was shot in front of a courthouse. It was shot in front of a Tennessee courthouse. The same courthouse where 100 years ago, an 18-year-old black kid, teenager, was lynched. Now, Jason has said, no, basically, I'm not racist. There was no racist intent. I never used the word race. You don't have to, partner. We understand images matter. There's a reason that you had images of Black Lives Matter protesters when you were talking about what we don't take in a small town, and we ain't gonna put up with that, and we'll get our guns and we'll round everybody up. We're not stupid. And the fact that you shot the video in front of a courthouse in Tennessee where an 18-year-old black teenager was lynched 100 years ago, that was just, oh, wait a minute, I know. That was just a coincidence. That was just a coincidence. Just ironically, I just happened, out of all the places on the planet, I just happened, now considering that you are from Macon, Georgia, and I believe you spent some time in Savannah, Georgia, couldn't find a courthouse in your hometown of Macon, Georgia. Maybe they wouldn't, I don't know, maybe you couldn't get a permit to shoot it in your hometown or Savannah, Georgia, or anywhere in Georgia. You shot it in Tennessee. And out of all the courthouses in Tennessee, you just happened to record and shoot this video in front of this one courthouse to where 100 years ago, a century ago, an 18-year-old black teenager was lynched. All right, coincidence. You call it coincidence, I call it bullshit. Okay, so there's a saying, don't pee on me and tell me it's raining. Don't insult, listen, you feel free, you have a right to be as racist as you want, but be a man about it. Tony Braxton had a song called Just Be a Man About It. Be a man about it and own up to it. So many other races in America, they don't try to hide it. They'll call you the N-word. You had this dude in Portland that just sucker punched this black guy who was a vendor who was selling food. His ass finally went to jail. So just calm down with this. But, so Mr. Jason Aldean, you got a right to be racist. And then you got a right to lie and say, well, no, and you can insult our intelligence and try to say that you weren't. And people are just reading things into the video, their own interpretation. Yes, you're right. That's one thing about art. 10 people can look at the same artwork, can listen to the same piece of art and music, and come away with different interpretations. But we as black folks, like I said, we understand symbolism. We understand like the dog whistles, but now it ain't even no more dog whistles. It's like a megaphone bullhorn. Y'all just yelling it out boldly, proudly, displaying your racism in 2023. So you got a right as an artist. Yes, you have a First Amendment right to express yourself, and as an artist, you have the creative right and freedom, thanks to that First Amendment to express yourself via lyrics in your song and the images that you have in your video. But we have that same right to call bullshit and call your ass racist when we know the images, especially these images of Black Lives Matter protesters, and we saw like things exploding. Come on, man. We're not stupid. Don't insult my intelligence. Be racist. I'm good with that. Let me know you racist. I ain't gonna bother with you. But don't try to be slick with it. And don't try to insult my intelligence, and don't gaslight us like we are crazy, because we can clearly recognize what the images represent, especially with the lyrics in your town. Don't try it in a small town, because we don't try that and you might not make it out, and you might get shot. We got our guns. Because you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the racists in these little small towns that told black people that same thing. And probably in some cases still, those sundown towns. Boy, that's if they were nice. They would call you boy, or Nick. You know, you better have your ass out of town before the sun goes down. If not, something gonna happen to you. You might turn up missing. Come on, don't insult our intelligence. Gaslight yourself. Gaslight your mama. Don't gaslight me. And my mom is watching, so don't do that. All right. Speaking of my number one fan and my mother, Mary Dixon. Shout out to Groovemaster Dre. Some good news on the racist front. Murderer, killer, convicted killer, former cop, avowed racist Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd, literally put his knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes, roughly about 9 minutes and 30 seconds, I think like 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And literally snuffed and kneed the life, literally, out of George Floyd's body, who's in jail, who appealed to the Minnesota State Supreme Court to let me out of jail. Because I didn't really do anything wrong, you know, and I'm a good white man, and I don't like being in jail because these brothers don't like me, and, you know, I ain't trying to have none of them put their knee on my neck. I'm scared. Can you please let my scared ass out? But the Minnesota Supreme Court said, no, we are not going to hear your appeal. So that means take your orange suit wearing ass back to your cell. Now he's going to try to appeal it to the U.S. Supreme Court. And that could be problematic, speaking of racist. Because we have a majority that are making rulings that show a racial bias, a gender bias in terms of when they struck down the Roe versus Wade decision that gave women the right to determine what to do with their body. They basically took away women's reproductive freedoms and said, listen, if we have a 10-year-old or 15-year-old or a 30-year-old that got raped or gets raped and gets impregnated by the rapist, hey, That's too bad. But you got to have that baby. Yeah, you do. And if you decide to terminate that pregnancy, here in South Carolina, you got lawmakers that are saying we want to charge the woman who was raped and got pregnant by a rapist. She should be charged with murder. But the rapist, he ain't really mean it. Or he was horny, she led him on, she had on a skirt that was too short, or she was being flirtatious, or nothing at all. Because they'll come up with all them lame ass excuses, all them sexist ass excuses that I just gave you an example of. So, but no Derek Chauvin, no appeal, no you can't get out of jail, no you can't collect $200, no, sit your ass down, no, sit your ass down. Here you go. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life, everybody. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. I come to you live, the Geno Jones Show, Monday through Friday. Normal start time and days, 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. I'm less than 80 new subscribers away from becoming a YouTube partner. That means I'm less than 80 subscribers away from getting a check from YouTube, securing that YouTube bag, meaning YouTube is going to say, hey, we're going to run some ads. We got a check for you, G. So y'all come on. You've been supporting the show, supporting me, the show, and my media company. I appreciate it. So continue to spread the word, to subscribe to the show. They'll love it. You'll love it, or you'll love to hate it. It's all good. As long as you subscribe and watch, I am happy. I'm a happy man. All right, shout out to Miss Allie Jones. She's the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. I like to call her the Drip Director, along with Mr. Bruce Gage. So Allie Jones is on Instagram. She is a fashion designer, fashion design major, senior at Columbia College, Chicago, one of the hot new designers, not just in America, but on the planet. She's got her LX.NCL collection. So she came out with a special collection, the LX.NCL line. So for the summer, for ladies, she's got like these crochet swimsuits, two-piece swimsuits, or she can crochet a one-piece for you. She's got these incredible looking crocheted handbags. She's got crocheted tops. She got crocheted leggings, beanies, fellas. She's got these little crocheted beanies or hats. She made one for me, and you can check it out. LX.N, like Nanette, CL underscores, that little dash below. LX.NCL underscore. Mr. Bruce Gage, the owner, Mario Uomo. It's the Mario Uomo collection. Many of us, as a matter of fact, the suit I had on yesterday, you can go back and check out, go back and binge watch yesterday's episode, was a Mario Uomo collection. Also, the Flyball collection, which is the officially licensed Negro Baseball League gear. They got like these jackets, like Letterman varsity jackets that you used to wear in high school, really nice. That style anyway. Sweaters, shirts, ties, caps. Flyballthestore.com, all one word. Flyballthestore.com. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, on IG. Of course, Allie Jones is on IG, Instagram, LX.NCL underscore. Bruce Gage on Instagram, Miglio D Mario Uomo, MIGLIO DIMARIO UOMO, MIGLIO DIMARIO UOMO. And Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. He is on IG, on Instagram, Kel, K-E-L, Kel, B-B-E, Cutting Up. Kel B Cutting Up. I will see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. My special guest is going to be former North Charleston Police Chief Reggie Burgess, who was running to become mayor of the city of North Charleston, South Carolina. I think there's like 10 people running for mayor. You all are welcome to come on too. State your case. But Reggie Burgess will be our guest tomorrow, this time tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for watching. I love you so much. I really do. Now go back and binge watch. Last night was on fire. Go back and binge watch last night's show. Voting matters. Because your schools, the school board in your city, the school board in your county, the board of education in your state could do like Florida and say, oh, you know what? We're going to teach that slavery brought personal benefits to the enslaved Africans. They developed skills. Oh yeah, well, we did lynch them and rape them and murder them, and we separated the families, and oh yeah, they weren't human, they were our property, but they developed skills. That's what they're teaching in Florida schools. And they could teach it in your school too. That's why voting matters. You've got the power. Make sure you vote. All right? So go back and binge watch last night's episode. Last night's show and episode, and we'll see you live 6:30 p.m. on Friday. Until then, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.